All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hope everyone is doing amazing. We're going to have a great conversation. Wait for some folks to jump on. Do me a favor once you get on. Tag some folks that need to be here. Share this out. Drop it in someone's DM. Post this on your story. We're going to have a great conversation, especially from my women entrepreneurs. If y'all need some styling tips or how to really just upgrade your wardrobe, which will, in fact, upgrade your bank account. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. We'll have a great conversation. If you're not familiar with me, I am Ryan McCrary, the Funnel Doctor. We help creative entrepreneurs grow and scale online using sales funnels and paid ads. So if you need us to help level up your funnel, your ad campaigns, especially with, all the talks going on and the craziness, uncertainty in the economy, you want to make sure that your funnel is tight. You want to have a way to capture customers and increase your order value so you can make more money. So, see some folks joining. Let me see. There we go. How you doing?
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you? Can you hear and see me?
Yep, I can hear you. Let's hear my volume. How's your day been going? How's everything?
Good. Day is good.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Blessed.
All right, good. Well, thank you so much just for coming on and having this conversation. I know you're very busy, got a lot going on, so I definitely just appreciate that first and
No,
foremost.
thanks for having me.
Of course, yeah, definitely see y'all here, content and killing it,
Mhm.
giving Lady Z styling tips that a lot of them need. So definitely appreciate you on that.
No, excited. Just try to give them a little bit, not too much. A
Mm-hmm.
little bit.
Yeah, give them enough that they need. So before we get started, of course, I always like to ask, like, I'm definitely curious on like your background, where you from, and like how you got into this space.
Yeah. So, born in Houston, raised in Michigan, live in Atlanta currently. And honestly, since I was a little girl, so I started when I was young, like my mom would buy me paper dolls, like I'm telling my age, but for those that remember paper dolls, like
You look
have the
25 though, but go
huh?
ahead. You look 25, but go ahead.
Thanks. So it was like those that used to have be like a little magazine and it would have little clothes with it and I would just dress the clothes. And so all throughout like high school, I would participate and help style the fashion shows. So literally like all of my childhood and teen years. And then when I went to college, I started at FAMU and was there for my first 2 years and was just gonna do business. And then my mom was like, well, you're really like interested in fashion and clothing and all that stuff. Like Michigan State, which is where she worked, has a program for becoming like a retail buyer. So I didn't really understand what that was. And I was like, oh, this sounds cool. She was like, well, it's to learn like the business of retail and fashion. And so that's what my degree was in. That's what I studied. And after I finished school, I moved to New York. And so I was a buyer, assistant buyer in New York. And just being in the fashion capital, like you just have no choice but to gravitate to what's going on. And there is when I heard the word like stylist. I didn't really know what a stylist was. Like,
Right.
um, and so I would hear rumblings. And so on MySpace, again, dating my age,
I remember MySpace. I remember MySpace.
MySpace, people that's where people would like post jobs. So like before it was like Craigslist, you would kind of like post like gig work on MySpace. So I saw this posting and it was like assistant stylist needed. It didn't say what it was for. I think it might have said for music artists, but it was very like little information. So I remember walking from my corporate job to this hole in the wall office. Like, I'm like, where am I? Like, I'm in New York City, but like, what is this? So long story short, it turned out to be the G Unit office. And so that's kind of where I started with 50 and G Unit, packing the tour bags, organizing the fashion closet until eventually, worked on music videos, tours, his first movie, his first independent film. So that's kind of how I got my start.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
all that. Yeah, so um, you actually became like an actual stylist. Like, how did that, how did you get attracted to like that? And like, what made you say like, okay, I'm going to full-fledged and go into that?
Yeah, so like retail buying is very much analytical and creative. So it's both sides of the brain. And I was just starting to get a little bored with like the analytical side. I'm
Yeah.
like, I want something that's a little more fun. And so styling, celebrity styling at the time intrigued me. Like you got to travel. I'm on,
Yeah, yeah.
everybody on PJs now. I'm like, I was on G5s back in '05, but
Talk that talk.
um, so it was like, I'm like, where else are you going to get a chance to like experience
Right.
something, something like this? So I've always been one that's been okay with taking risk and taking chances. Like I've never wanted to live my life with what if.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like working with celebrities? Like, like what was that experience like? I'm sure you got some crazy stories, ones that you can share or feel comfortable sharing. But like what was that, what was it like working with celebrities?
Um, so it's interesting, especially rappers. So with rappers, it's entourage, and that's usually it's like usually dealing with the entourage, like, oh my god, like 50 of y'all. The actual artists themselves, everybody was real cool. Like Fifth, like he's such a smart dude. So anytime he would just talk, like we would just sit there and just listen because he's just sharing so many gems. So, the stuff people see, on Instagram, like, yeah, like he definitely is not the one to play with,
Right,
but
right,
he's
right.
very, very smart businessman. So it was, it was fun. Like it's very draining though. So I sacrificed a lot. So like a lot of my 20s, I didn't really have a life. Like you on the road, city to city, tour for months. So it was a lot of sacrifice in terms of like family, friends, relationships, all of that.
Hmm. Yeah, and I know you worked on Creed 3, right?
I
I think I saw.
did, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. So how was that experience like?
Super cool. So this was Michael B. Jordan's first time being a director, so his directorial debut, which is very, it's hard because he's going from actor in
Yeah, and yeah, in
character
the
to
yeah,
then having to snap out of it to be director.
right.
So I think he did an amazing job. Like set felt like a family. The precedence of how you're treated on set really comes from the top down. So he treated everyone with respect. He was always friendly, always approachable, cool, very laid back, humble dude. So like very much what you see, on social of him is how I, interpreted him to be meeting him in person and being around him in person.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, you
But it
got
was cool. I mean, movies are a lot. Like, it's 18, 20-hour days. Like, I remember leaving set and the sun is coming out. Like, wow, it would have been a
mm,
different thing.
right. And were y'all in Philly? Y'all in Philly with that?
No, that was filmed here in Atlanta.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Here,
Interesting.
Atlanta and LA.
Okay. All right, that's interesting. All
Yep.
right. So then I guess you work with a lot of mostly entrepreneurs now.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
like how was that transition from like working with celebrities and all that to like, now working with entrepreneurs?
So, I love it. Like, so I'll go and like I like TV and film, like costume, but I do it more so to meet new people, to interact with people. So it's like I'll go, some people that they have to go from project to project. I'm more so, when I want to, I'll go. I'll reach out to people like, hey, what's going on. But with working with entrepreneurs, it's so much more freedom. Like it's just so much more freedom. Like I set my schedule. I set, the tone for how I want my business to operate versus when you are, working with celebrities, like you're on their time. Like it would be time for we would just come back from somewhere. I literally remember I was able to go home for one day. I flew to Michigan for one day And I got off the flight and I turned my BlackBerry back on, and it's like
That's back in the day. I
yes,
know.
exactly. I turned my BlackBerry on and it's like itinerary for LA tomorrow. I'm like, damn. Like, oh, Fifth decided he want to do a video. Like what? So you're always on their schedule. So with working with, speakers, coaches, and consultants now, working with entrepreneurs, I am in control of my schedule and my time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. My guy Malik on here, he said my dress game is trash. Can you help him?
Yes, I style men also.
That was gonna be one of my questions too. Like, do you style men or just women?
Yeah, I started with men. Like,
yeah, I didn't know that until you just said it. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, of course, you got some styling tips. So like, what are some of the biggest styling tips if you want to break it down for men and women? You know what I mean? Like most of my clients and people that I work with are women entrepreneurs and speakers and stuff like that. So like, what are some, I guess, general styling tips you have? And then does it depend on the industry you do? Depend on if you're a speaker, if you're not a speaker, if you're a face of a brand, if you're not, what's your thoughts on that stuff?
So like my motto is like, if you are a speaker, like your style needs to match your message. And so whatever that audience is that you are speaking to, like your style needs to match whatever you're going to be talking about. So for instance, if you're a speaker and you're going to talk to high school students, or if you're going to talk to inmates, like you probably aren't going to wear a business suit. You probably aren't going to wear all of your jewelry and every, labeled down head to toe, right? Because it's kind of sending the wrong message to the audience. So it's like people don't think about things like that. You want to have like signature pieces. So things that like mix and match well with other items in your wardrobe. So for ladies, it's always a good pair of denim, a good blazer, something that you feel confident in, like something that's a power blazer or a power suit, things that make you just really feel your best, because that exudes when you are speaking, when you are talking, teaching, whatever it is that you're doing. Even if you just, come on live, like what are those pieces that really make you be able to speak to your audience, but in a way that exudes how confident you are in yourself and in your business. And so I get a lot of flack from some of my female audiences because I do not like seeing women come on live with bonnets on. Like I don't like it. And it's, I get I'm going to show up as my authentic self, or if I have a message, I'm not going to not give them my message because I have a bonnet on. And how I look at it as, a lot of us are entrepreneurs now, right? Like it's like the new thing, which is cool. But just because you are no longer in a corporate space, like don't lose that professionalism. Whatever your profession was that you had before you became an entrepreneur, keep that same energy, keep that same mindset. Like you wouldn't show up to your job with this bonnet on, so it's like give your business, have some respect for your own business. Like, and that's how I look at it. It's like I respect my business enough to show up looking presentable when I am speaking to my audience, especially if I'm trying to sell them something. Like,
exactly. Because
I have made decisions, and I know people that have made decisions to not work with people or to not buy things from people based on how they look. Like no matter if it may not be right, but it's the truth, because we see first. So before you hear anything that I'm saying, before you read any amazing copy, before you do all of that, like you see someone first and you judge them based off of that.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, if you had any like specific examples where you helped someone in like their revenue increase, or they were able to close more from the stage and stuff like that. And also feel free to like ask me any like funnel questions you want to know. Some folks in here, from your page.
Yeah, throw your funnel stuff up in here.
So of course we can talk about that. Whatever you want to know, we're about to get your funnel right too. I got you.
Please. Yeah. So I think for me, the revenue comes, but that's not the biggest transformation for my clients. For my clients, it's them seeing themselves differently. So a lot of them are moms, wives, and, you know, as women, especially Black women, when we have families, you know, it's like we put everything and everyone before us. Like the business comes before us, the husband comes before us, or, you know, the man, the kids. And so we tend to forget about ourselves. And so the biggest transformation with my clients is like, wow, like I can look this good again. I can feel like my old self. I can, you know, I can be confident. I can be that chick, you know, again. And so that's what it is for me, is seeing them. And once they're in that element, like the sales
yeah,
just
that
come
makes sense.
because they look good. So they like, oh, let me go do this live. Let
Right,
me go
right,
record this content. So they are more not only are they more confident, but now they're just showing up in their business differently. And as a result of that, the increased sales and revenue comes.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. Like you said, especially for women, you know, just feeling more confident, and you know, when you look good, you feel good, and you know, you're ready to make that money.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now I know a lot of people probably, you know, in my mind, I would think about like budget of like budget wise, like do I gotta just go to like start going to Neiman Marcus, or I go to Saks? Like, can I still keep it regular?
No,
You know what I
you
mean?
don't.
Like,
Right. And I think it depends on, so here's I can work with all style budgets. Like, you know, if you are a Fashion Nova girl or a Fashion Nova guy, or if you're a Neiman's person. For me, it's about the quality. So do you want to invest in higher quality pieces that are going to last in your wardrobe, or do you just want a few items that, you know, you're probably going to have to replace in the next 6 months? So that's really kind of what it boils down to. Like, you can go buy a white t-shirt from, you know, Zara has pretty nice t-shirts, but you can buy one from Zara, or you can get one from Nordstrom's. Like the quality of the Nordstrom one is probably going to last you a little bit longer, but it might be, you know, $100 white tee versus, you know, Zara is going to be $29.90. So
that makes sense.
yeah.
And do you have any like specific tips for men? And like for me, a lot of times I be feeling like I need a stylist. A lot of it's because I don't feel like thinking about it. Like,
and that's what it is. So like a lot of people think that, you know, you have to be like a celebrity to have a stylist, or you have to be at this certain level to have a stylist. But what I've realized for most people, like, it's about time. Like, they would rather, I want to just work on my business. I don't want to have to think about what I'm gonna wear, you know, what I'm wearing today, what I'm wearing to these events, what I'm wearing. Like, they don't want to have to spend the time, because that's not their zone of genius. So they're like, let me outsource and pay someone that is an expert in this, because this is not my expertise, and they're going to save me time, yet I'm going to make more money. And with men, it's different. Like, you know, y'all don't really, you know, it's, y'all are so kind of
whatever.
like basic, like.
Right. That's how I be like. And for me, a lot of times it comes off comfort too. Like, I'm trying to be comfortable. You know what I mean?
But, you know, there are some, you know, but there are still things that, you know, men should have. Like, you should have a quality suit that is tailored. You know, tailoring is key. Can't nobody stand seeing a man in a big Steve Harvey suit. So, you know, tailored suits, a nice denim, a nice, you know, nice blazer, sports coats, a good, you know, fall, spring jacket, nice little windbreaker, a good pair of shoes. Chelsea boots are great for fall, winter time for guys. So just having like a different variety of pieces. Like, you can still have comfort. You can still have nice quality joggers and, you know, quality t-shirts that you put on. But I think it's still important to mix your wardrobe in with those other staples also.
Yeah, that makes sense. When I come to Atlanta, when I speak, I might have to let you style me. For real. I might be like, all right, let me get us a try and see how it goes, because I don't like thinking about it.
I got you. Whatever. So let's talk about some funnel stuff. They probably like, Ryan on here talking about clothes. This is not working.
Like, and the reason why I wanted to, honestly, is because, like I said, I work with damn near all women entrepreneurs. Like, I don't even like taking men clients. Like, to me, women, like y'all more hustlers. Like I don't know what it is. Like when I work with, not everybody, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, but for the most part, like when I work with women, like they do what they're supposed to do. They get us back what we need. Like we can really help them scale. Like for
Yeah.
some reason, like man, is they don't. So I know like a lot of women entrepreneurs need this. But we definitely can talk about all things funnels. Any questions you want me to talk about funnels, what funnels are, how they can help. That's my jam. So we can definitely talk about that.
So what's because my definition of a funnel is essentially just the journey that you are taking your customer on. So do you have a different, more textbooks, expert definition of a funnel?
Not really. Normally that's what I say. Really like the customer journey,
Okay.
it's like basically just like a step-by-step process to like sell your products and services, like basically like a system that people go through. And I know when I first got started in business, like I didn't think about what I offered as like a sales system. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm just like, all right, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to put out in the marketplace. But like I didn't think about like how am I going to get a lead? How am I going to nurture that lead? How am I going to convert them to a customer? How I'm going to upsell them? How I'm going to retain them? How I'm going to, continue the relationship. I didn't think about it as like a system I can rinse and repeat. I just was like, all right, I want to do this. I want to sell this. Like, how can I make money? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what we really try to help our clients with, like really understanding the entire journey, the process, how you collect leads, what you offer to get people as a lead, how you nurture them, how you automate
Mm-hmm.
them. And then once you do get them to buy, how do we upsell them? How do we increase the cart value? How do we increase the lifetime value to really get more out of the customer, not just like the first transaction?
So is there a preferred platform that you like to use?
Everybody asks me that, and everybody that know me know I'm biased to ClickFunnels,
You
but
are.
for the most part, but like it's a lot of ones that's coming out. Like we're looking at like high level, go high level. If you're
Oh,
familiar with that one, so that's what everybody's talking about. Like I was at this conference last week in Miami, this agency conference, and like everybody's like, yo, you got to get on high level. Like that's like the new wave. So we're looking at it, but I've always been like a ClickFunnels guy, and the reason is because what I've seen, it converts the best. So like when people ask me like what's the best funnel platform, I'm not looking at functionality for I'm not looking at user friendliness.
mm-hmm.
I'm not looking at what's cute and what I personally like.
Okay.
I'm looking at what's going to drive the most
Got
conversions.
it.
So what I've seen personally is like ClickFunnels gets the most conversions,
Okay.
unless someone can show me different, and no one has been able to do
And,
that.
and so does your team like build out the entire the entire funnel for
Yep.
your clients? Like when somebody comes to you, what are they looking to do? They're like, hey, build out this whole funnel for me.
Yep, for the most part, yeah. I mean, we specialize in done for you, so we like do everything. We do the copy, all the messaging, we design it, we build it out, we do the integrations, all the back end, like the tags, the
Oh, wow.
segment, like everything. So by the time it's done, it's like, all right, your funnel is complete. It's on
How
autopilot.
long does it take you?
um, it depends, about 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, about 3, 4 weeks, to get everything set up. And,
Wow.
yep, and then we also do ads, of course. So that's another side of our agency is the ad
Okay.
management part. And I'm big on, paid traffic and spending money on paid ads because organic, can be hit or miss.
Right.
But to really scale and like money loves speed is like you really got to get to the bag faster, and you can definitely do that faster by just paying for traffic.
So what are your thoughts on how ads are now? So obviously it's been like drastic changes since, when we was running ads in
Right.
2019 and just running it up.
Yeah.
Um,
It's been effed up. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's been crazy. You know what I mean? But like, do ads still work? Yes. Like, does Facebook ads still work? Yes. Do Instagram ads still work? Yes. But it's harder. It's more expensive to get in front of people. It's more expensive to acquire customers. More expensive to get leads.
mhm.
So what we do to mitigate that is number one, like your content got to be fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have good content. You got to captivate it. You got to get people's attention. Like, no, you can't do anything else if you don't get someone's attention.
Right.
No matter how great your product is, your service is, like your offer, like whatever, if you don't get someone's attention, they're not going to see the rest of it. So that's the first thing is just making sure, you have good content to get their attention. And then I'm real big on increasing the order value. So like when someone does buy, we got to get them to spend more. And that's how we can spend more on the front end is getting them to actually spend more on the back end and really knowing your back end numbers, your lifetime value, and then something I call like funnel stacking.
Mm-hmm.
Like we stack a couple funnels on top of each other, where it's like when you do see an ad, like you're not just coming through one funnel, you're gonna come through multiple funnels in our front
Mm-hmm.
end, and that's how we can get into the black faster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
So
a lot.
so you manage ads for your clients
We do.
also?
Yeah, we do.
And after the funnel is set up, do you just kind of hand it off like, all right, here you go.
Um,
You're on your own?
it depends. You know what I mean? Like some clients, we do like maintenance on them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing that we see is like a lot of people get their funnel built and they don't either they don't use it, they don't fully maximize it, they don't
Right.
run enough traffic to it, they don't optimize it, they don't like look at the numbers. So it's like we do have that maintenance part of the funnels, and then we also have like the maintenance part of the ads, of course, once with the funnels built. But some people are like, yo, I need my funnel done. I already got somebody doing my ads, or I'm already an
Okay.
influencer, or I already got my traffic strategy. I just kind of need you to do our funnel. So it kind of depends.
Okay. Got it.
Hmm.
Okay. What else you want to tell us about these funnels?
I mean, people always ask me like, well, my type of business, like, do I need a funnel? I'm like, everybody needs a funnel, no matter what type of business,
Right.
whether you a
Now, do
stylist, whether you an
you do
accountant.
primarily service based or do you do product also?
Mostly service, but
Okay.
we work with products as well. You know what I mean? Like I was just talking to Shay and a few Woodman earlier. She's our client, so
You do their
we
ads.
do their ads. And we're about to do a funnel for her actually too. So, but yeah, we work with both, but try to niche down. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's one of the things I've been learning recently. Is like you really got niche down and stuff like that. But I feel like a funnel can work for any business, but we have seen success with product and service.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
Hmm. Yep. So definitely, let people know, of course, what you got going on, your challenge and everything you got coming up. So if
Yeah.
people want to join
Yeah,
that,
so
how they
they're
can
probably
join that.
like, "What? Y'all done start talking about business stuff and funnels." So I thought we was talking about elevator
We talking
wardrobe.
about all this. All
Talk
this
about all
relates.
of it. Like,
Right.
listen, hey, I am a multi-purpose entrepreneur. So, I'm gonna talk about retail and I'm gonna talk about style. So yeah, everything is in my profile. So if you are searching for a stylist, need a stylist, just schedule an image discovery call. There's no cost for that. I like to, styling is very intimate. That's what people don't understand. Like, it's more than clothes. It's
Yeah.
not just, hey, let me just go throw these clothes and, just give you this look. Like, we talk about body type, we talk about colors. There are a bunch of different factors that go into the process. So I have to have a consult with everyone to just make sure you're not gonna get on my nerves. Like,
Right.
that's the
Yo,
other
listen, I already
that's
know
the
that's
other part of it is like, oh, okay, so you're gonna be one of them.
right.
So
I'm good. Right.
I think I'm going to pass on that. Not a good fit. So yeah, so you just schedule an image discovery call. If you are a product-based business, I'm currently promoting my upcoming challenge, 3-day live challenge, The Profitable Retailer. And it is for product-based businesses to dig into their data. So people like to just stay on the creative side. They just like to do marketing, and they think that marketing is like this golden ticket to the success of their business, where marketing for me, when I was a product buyer, like, marketing didn't come into play until the end of, like, when it was about to launch and we're like, okay, what is the
Right.
marketing
Right.
strategy?
Right.
But before that, on the front end, I'm forecasting how many units I'm going to sell. I'm forecasting, what traffic sources do we need to even look at for marketing. I'm working with, inventory planning, but for the most part, I'm digging into the numbers to understand, okay, how is this going to drive sales? How is this going to impact the bottom line? When do I need to do markdowns and promotions? How much can I afford to even do markdowns and promotions? Like, these are just things that just most product-based businesses don't think about because they only want to focus on the marketing. So this challenge is to get people to love their numbers, like, look at the data so you can make strategic based decisions. So you can register for that. We start April 3rd by going to profitableretailerchallenge.com.
I like that. I'm gonna put that in the link and pin it. All right, so that's good. So yeah, in the few minutes we got left, I know you got to go in a few minutes. What are some other retail tips you have for people? And then what's the URL again? So I can type it down.
Yeah, profitableretailer.com. No,
Okay.
it's not. I'm lying.
Okay.
Profitableretailerchallenge.com.
All right. ProfitRetailingChallenge.com. I hope I spelled it right. I can't
Uh-oh.
spell. I think I did.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. I can't spell.
Yeah.
But yeah,
In
what
terms
other
of just
retail
like
tips?
basic retail tips, I'm always gonna say start with your numbers. Like, even if you don't join this challenge, like just start looking at the seasonality trends in your business. Start to, what I see most entrepreneurs do is they're like, okay, I made X amount of money this month, right? So let's say I made 10K this month. So next month, I'm gonna just try to make 12K. Like, it's no like real thought process of planning the numbers, when in actuality they should have an entire annual sales plan that's already built out, and then they're just kind of seeing what those, if those projections, if they were a hit or miss. So know your numbers. In terms of, product, depending on what your product categories are, try to diversify your assortment. So look at other ways that these products can branch out into other things. So if you have a hair brand and you just currently sell one shampoo, like what are some other products that complement that shampoo? What are some other things that can go with that? So if you sell a shampoo, obviously sell a conditioner, but then also sell a ebook that, talks about why, having your hair washed every, so often is important. Like, think of all these other ways that you can build just off of these, products that you sell. Essentially, like, that's what I did. So corporate career was as a retail buyer, also as a stylist, but I've been a boutique owner for 7 years. And with me running my own boutique, I just realized, the challenges that I was coming up with. And so in 2018, I'm like, I know if I started my boutique in 2016. So I'm like, I know if I, being someone that's experienced in this, like corporate experience, educated in this, then somebody that's just starting, they absolutely probably don't understand what's going on. So that's when I started doing retail coaching and consulting. So it's a lot. Like, product-based business is totally different.
Yeah, right. I don't think I knew you had your own boutique too. I don't think I knew that.
Yep. We busy out here.
You get all the coins. I told you, you getting all the coins out here. But yeah, definitely, dropping some gems. So yeah, if y'all are interested in that, you're a product-based business, retail folks, definitely make sure you join the challenge. So the link is down there, ProfitableRetailerChallenge.com. Dontel, my guy, what's going on? So yeah, any last words for the people? Thank you so much again for coming on. The styling tips. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to help get my style together.
Yeah, I think when do you have a speaking event? Don't you have something?
Yeah, it's like April 20th, something like that. Yeah, so it's gonna be in Atlanta. So yeah, definitely just let me know budget, your fees, and how much I need to spend. I'm like a mixed person. Like, sometimes I will go in Nemis or Saks or whatever, but then sometimes I just keep it basic. Like, I throw the sweatsuit on or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I'm kind of in between. Like, I do like nice stuff, but at the same time, like, I ain't always like in that lane. But you can get me together.
Got it. Yeah, it's all on my catch an image discovery call. But it's all there. So yeah, thank you for having me. Enjoyed the conversation. I don't really do too many lives like I should. So.
Listen, you got to get on these lives, like, bro, get this information out to people. You know what I mean? And of course, get these ads popping, which I know you're about to do.
I know that's
hard. All right. Well, yeah, definitely appreciate you coming on. Definitely have a great night. And then I'll see you in Atlanta next week.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Talk to you.